Good morning, YouTube. So it is probably I feel like we've been at least here for 30 minutes. So typically we'll start around 7:30. I do want to start like earlier, like maybe 7, but I don't know. I feel like that's kind of like pushing my boundaries with these residentials. If it was a commercial account, I'd even start like 6:30. Property number 1. This is actually one of my very first clients, probably from all the clients that I still have, probably my very first one. Whew. It is supposed to get hot today. I think this whole week we're in like a heat advisory. So we'll see how today goes. I'm sure towards the end or towards the middle it's gonna suck. So we'll see. But pretty much this video I'm just gonna show you guys the day to day. Today is Monday. And we'll see how terrible and miserable it is once it starts to get up in those 3 digits for the heat index. I think it's supposed to get up to like 96 degrees. Heat index, I would think it would probably get like 110, 112 maybe. We do have like a big ranch that we gotta do. So that one normally takes us like 3 hours. That one's big. And normally I'll use a smaller mower. Jacob will use a bigger mower. We both tackle it mowing wise. And then we'll both weed eat. One will blow, and then pretty much I'll go talk to the client because he likes to talk a little bit, but he always pays me in cash, so that's why I have to go and knock on his door. But anyways, let's keep going. I'm being honest, I know today's gonna suck. Ooh, starting to get hot. I think it's 85 degrees. That was number 3. It's gonna be miserable today. So I normally carry a jug that's specifically to pour over our head. So I'm sure we'll both be hitting that today. But I definitely recommend y'all doing that because it feels like heaven when you pour that cold water over your head. Like it literally gives you energy. But anyways, we have 6 more. That one's a bigger property like y'all saw, so normally Jacob will mow the back, I'll do the front, and then whoever has a smaller section will start off edging and we'll blow. And then pretty much this one I just mowed. So we're at property number 4. I'm pretty sure y'all can hear Jacob. He's mowing the front. This is another somewhat bigger property. I ended up getting this property right at the beginning of spring. It was such a mess. She had like a playground and a lot of like junk just in the middle. Her yard was overgrown. It was reaching my knees. Leaves everywhere from her kind of neglecting it all winter. So this was when my dad was in town. So it took me, Jacob, and my dad about 5 hours, 3 or 4, maybe 4 hours. I can't remember. Maybe 4 hours to get it back to like where it is. And she, she was just shocked of our quality of work. I think I quoted her like $1,500 for that first initial, it's kind of like a spring cleanup. And she asked me like, hey, how much would it be if to add me to your bi-weekly schedule? And then I ended up quoting her $85, and she's like, okay. And then funny enough, last week her neighbor that's like in the corner, you'll see in the next, I'll be recording that part too, so y'all will see her property, but it's a new property. I think I quoted that one $75 or something. She just saw me and she's like, hey, can you come and give me a bid on my property? And I was like, okay. And then I pretty much told her the same thing, I come out every bi-weekly, yada yada yada. And she's like, okay. And so we'll be servicing that property first. I think for that one, I'm going to have Jacob mow, and then I'll be edging and weed eating. I just have like a better eye when it comes to like the small little details. Jacob's getting there, but he's still not fully there. So when it comes to mowing, he's gotten it pretty much nailed down. But like weed eating, he'll still miss a few spots. And just how my brain works, like I want it to look like perfect. Not every time, but I would say at least like I go for at least like 90%, you know, try to get as much as we can while we're there, but also not overdo it where we're there like an hour every visit, because you know that's not the point. Woo! Starting to get hot. I'm sure it's probably like 91 right now, but this is the newest property. Look at those edges. It's not too bad. It took us like 40 minutes right now because it was the first visit. It wasn't overgrown. It was just like the edges were overgrown, so that took Jacob maybe like 20 minutes. Weed eating. Her neighbor was the one that was servicing her property, but he would just mow and blow. So just those little corners, those edges. There are spots where it hasn't been weed eaten in a month or two, and that's what honestly took us the longest. Beautiful property. So that one Jacob mowed at 3.5, and again, when it's hot like this, you want to be mowing high. You should be mowing closer to 4, but that one we did 3.5 because it's a bi-weekly that way. It's not too overgrown next property or the next service. But anyways, when it's hot like this, you need a worker. You need to try to get a worker ASAP. You know, as soon as you're able to afford one, get one. For me, the first 6 months that I hired my first worker, I was losing money because I was like, essentially the yards that I had, which was like 35 to 40 yards, is when I first got my first worker. I was able to do them by myself, but I knew that if I really wanted to keep growing, I needed that second set of hands. And I knew eventually it would pay off. And fast forward to today, there is no way that I would be able to do all these properties by myself. It's just not doable. I'd be working all day, and and days like this, I would be hating myself because it is a lot for one person to do. But anyways, this is number 5, I believe. We got 2 other ones that are right next to each other, so that route density is getting pretty tight. So we are doing number 6 and then number 7, and then I normally try to have Jacob mow as much as possible, just because I have a better stamina than he does. But there are a few properties where, or if I do get tired, I'll be like, Jacob, I'm going to be mowing the next 3 or 4. And he's fine. I mean, he'll do anything I tell him to because he knows I'm fair. I try to be fair with him. I'm sure there's bosses out there that all they do is mow and they have their guys weed eat an edge. And, that's fine if that works for you. I try to be a little bit more fair, but it's 92, a little bit of breeze right now, so it's not too bad. But I might have to get my little sombrero just because it is starting to warm up. So luckily, we'll probably be here for another 2 hours. Then after, where is it? We'll be here for like another 2 hours. Or sorry, we'll be here for another hour to do both of these, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. And then after that, we have a small cookie cutter yard, and then we have the big ranch, which the big ranch is pretty much gonna take, like I said, like 3 to 3.5 hours. But after this next small little cookie cutter yards, I'll stop by the gas station because I brought lunch. Jacob didn't bring lunch today, so we're gonna stop by, get lunch so he can buy something, and then tackle the big ranch. And we should be done, if I were to guess, I think we'll be done like around 6:30. Look at Jacob's lines. He's a monster. Look at these. I'm sure the camera doesn't get it, but in person, especially because a lot of our yards aren't really, we need that tall fescue, or we need Kentucky, that bluegrass. A lot of our grass is Bermuda or Zoysia, and those don't really stripe that good. So when you do stripe, gotta appreciate it. I would say if I were to rate Jacob's lines back there, I would give it a good 6.5 maybe. But he just came a long way. So it is 1:33, 92 degrees right now. It is lunchtime, so we've done 8 so far. And all that's left is that big ranch one. And then for my lunch, I'm having a chicken sandwich with bacon, hot Cheetos. I'm about to go get a water, but I still have some Dr. Pepper. I'm just waiting on Jacob. He went inside the gas station to get his food. So that last property, luckily he dropped me. He texted me like a couple weeks ago saying like, hey Manny, I am thinking of getting a push mower because, you know, that property is super small. It takes us like 12 minutes, if that, to service his property. So he got a push mower to save some money, which I'm glad he did because every Monday, we service that property every Monday, and every Monday in the morning, he'll text me saying like, hey Manny, just making sure I'm on your schedule. And it's like, I've been servicing your property for 2 months and I'm there every Monday. What do you think? So this has to be our biggest account up to date, or it is our biggest account up to date. So this is the backyard. I've been slowly working along all these weeds that are growing. So you can see I weeded this section. Jacob is edging. So I think this will be my thumbnail. And it goes all the way up to the trees. So the backyard, I would say, is probably what, like 3 acres? And the front is probably, I don't even know. Maybe this is 2.5 acres. I don't know. Y'all let me know how much you think, how many acres you think it's back here. And it goes all the way back there to the, where you can see that little dirt road all the way back there. So this one's a little unique. So this one, let me show you guys the front. This property we service every 2 weeks. This is a bi-weekly account. But one visit, we're just doing the front. And then that second visit or that other visit, we're doing the front and all this. So this is just a month, but because it's getting so hot, you know, like it's literally slowing down the growth. Like, you know, most of the grass is dying. It's just all weeds. Oh, door's locked. So even the front, it doesn't look that bad. You know, a couple weeds here and there growing. Let me see. But yeah, and there's just one part of it. There's another little section over there, which I'll show y'all. It's what? It's 93 right now. It's supposed to get to 96. So it is, today is literally the hottest day yet for this year. So I'm going to use that as my title, mowing on the hottest day. It's not terrible yet. We've done 8 properties. This is our last one. It's 2:30. We'll probably be here till like 6. So we'll be mowing throughout like the peak of the day. And then this one, if you guys are wondering, when we do the front, it's $2.55. When we do the front and the back, it's $4.55. So it takes us 3 hours between both of us. So $4.55 for 3 hours, 2 guys. Y'all let me know if that's pretty good or if I underbid myself. In my area, I think that's pretty good. So if I were to lose this account, which I'm sure eventually I will, it's gonna suck because that's $4.55 every other week, and then sometimes it's well, 1 week's $2.55 just on this account, and then the other one is $4.55. So again, you got to get it while you can. So we're just dancing as the music's playing, but let's go. I don't know if the camera gets it, but my lines be on point sometimes. It is a little bit hard, especially when it's this long and I'm using the 36. Yes, I'm using a small little mower for like, you see, I think this is probably like 2 acres, including around the house that I still mow. I'm like somewhere around where this tree's at, that's where I'm at. But it sucks because, one, how hot do you think it is? Look at my freaking knees are sweating. And then I normally take a frozen bottle of water and I fill it up with a little bit of Powerade, and it's completely, it's pretty warm now. And it was like frozen. It sucks because I had a 48 Skag stand-on that I bought during winter, and it was pretty much my backup mower for the 52, the one that Jacob's using. But pretty much what was happening was it was just sitting in my garage, not really doing anything. So I was like, let me go ahead and sell it and use that money to pay off a credit card. Maybe this will be my thumbnail. But anyways, I was like, I'm not using it. Let me sell it. I sold it for 65 or 6,300. It had like 250 hours. Excuse me. And the beautiful part about it is that I bought that mower 2 years ago with 30 hours on it, and I ended up paying 6,500 when I originally bought it. So I used that mower for 2 years, put in like 230 hours or something like that, and I pretty much sold it for $200 less than what I bought it. So those deals are out there. I just lowball everyone. Eventually someone's gonna say yes and whatnot. It's miserable right now, so it is hot. I'm sure Jacob's struggling too. Normally I'll wear my sombrero. Jacob doesn't even wear a hat because I look funny wearing it, but it keeps me cool slightly. And Jacob just gets burned, and he literally just gets burned by the sun. It's hot, but luckily, you like I said, whenever you can, try to get that second set of hands to help you as your business grows. And that's pretty much, once you find someone good, reliable, that makes your life easier, and once you train them up, it's definitely worth it. Jacob's been with me for over a year, and I would say it's probably taking him like 8 to 10 months to finally get to where he's at, or maybe 8 months. I'm exaggerating. So I would say it probably has taken him like 8 months to really be where he's at now. And some people, it just takes a little bit longer than others. But yeah, it sucks. We'll probably be here for another 2 hours. We started at 2:30. I'll put the time at the end, what time we left. It's miserable, but what I do is normally we just had lunch before we did this property, and that's what we normally do. Is right before we're about to do this property, we take a 30-minute break. We sit in the car. I blast that AC. We have a couple drinks of Dr. Pepper, Gatorades, or water. Really try to get hydrated, and then we try to finish strong with this one. Like, even my feet are burning just standing on the grass. But anyways, stay cool, stay hydrated, like, subscribe. Peace. Sorry, I got I got sidetracked, and that's what happens with me. Like, sometimes I'll just ramble on and I just forget what I was trying to, where I was going. But as I was saying, the sucky part about it is a week or two after I sold that 48 that I wasn't using that much, I ended up landing this huge job. So I wish I would have kept it, because it would have made my life a lot easier doing this one. Instead of using the 36, I would be using the 48. Come next year, I am thinking of pulling the trigger on a 61 Skag V-Ride, the XL. Those look like a tank. And I've had no issues with the 52. So I think I'll probably be running a 61 and a 36 for most of my properties. And then the 52 will soon be my backup mower. But anyways. So there's the backyard that I'm working on now. Whew, I need to get off this mower for a little bit. My feet are like burning up. I'm sure Jacob somewhere over there, he already took out his hat, so he's already getting hot. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot. Whew, I want to chill a little bit under the shade for a little bit. I'm telling y'all, this is not for the weak. It's not hard, but a lot of people don't want to be out here doing this, so that's why they hire us. So it's not easy either. Whew. So all that I have left is either it's this backyard and then the front yard. And then I'm gonna grab a weed eater and start weed eating around the house. And then Jacob normally takes him like 15-20 minutes after to he'll grab his weed eater, and then he helps me, and then we both tackle it. So I think we should be here for another hour and a half left, but let's keep going. What are you doing, Jacob? Jugging out. How do you feel now?
Fantastic.
It works wonders.